you supply condoms to teenagers? Do you supply birth control pills to your daughter? If you do that, are you consenting to them having sex? But if you know that they're going to be having sex, don't you want them to have protection? You know, all this dance that we do as parents, and our teenagers get confused. And here's my thing about all this, y'all, is our teenagers are living their lives, and they're you know, they're experiencing all these things that they do, and sometimes they do it in secrecy because they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel comfortable with those adults. They don't feel comfortable with those adults, whomever they are in their life, talking about these things, because the teenagers feel judged. They feel like the parents are going to criticize them, or they feel like adults are going to, you know, shame them or make them feel bad. And so sometimes, you know, drug, sex, and rock and roll, they do these things in secrecy. And that's more or less, that's what I would like from this conversation. Is I don't want our teenagers, our kids, to live in secrecy about something, about sex that is so important developmentally for them to get right, for their future life, intimacy. Oh, fantastic. How are you? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. You too. All right, y'all. Saved by the Diet Cherry Limeade. And one thing you got to know about me is I take the lid off of every drink that I have, because I just like to feel it on my lips. Nothing like a Diet Cherry Limeade and talking about sex at Sonic, y'all. All right, here we go. Saved by the pickle fries. Now, some of you might have chosen ranch. I'm not a big ranch person. Hey, do they look like fries here? Do they look like fries? Yeah, we got some pickle fries. All right, all right, all right. Pretty good, pretty good. They're pickles, kind of like fries, pickle fries, get it? Where I was going with this is such an important topic for our teenagers and their development, for the future, y'all. For the future, and we want to make sure that we get it right with our kids. We don't want it to be shaming. We don't want it to be something that is something that they feel really anxious about talking about. We want them to feel comfortable with it. But I talk to parents sometimes, and they think, well, if I talk with my kid about sex, then that means that I actually am like saying it's okay. And you know, one of the questions I always have for kids, especially teenage kids, when we're talking about sex is, do you feel comfortable talking to your parents about it? Do you know where your parents stand on it? Do they tell you that they want you to wait until marriage to have sex, right? Those kinds of questions. And a lot of times the teenagers will tell me, no, I don't talk to my parents about it. I don't talk with my parents about it. And here's the thing. I don't think that the parents, I'm not putting this on the parents. I think our culture does not get this right. You know, we supply birth control, you know, birth control pills. We put our kids on birth control pills, our daughters. But then we go in their rooms and making sure they're not making out with their boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, whomever. Right? I'm not, no judgment here, but we're making sure that they're not having sex. All right? So we're putting them on birth control, but then we're going in making sure they're not having sex. And I'm not saying that they should be. I'm just saying that that's a mixed message there. It's like, okay, I'm giving this to you, but I don't want you to do it either. That's very confusing. So, okay, well, if you're not saying I could do it at home, then I'm gonna go, you know, I'm gonna go somewhere else, probably that you're not going to approve of, mom or dad, in the car, or, you know, wherever it would be, somewhere in public, and I'm going to do it there. So would you rather your child have sex in a safe place, in a healthy place, with someone they've been with for a while instead of just someone new to them. Like, these are the conversations. These are conversations. The birds and the bees, y'all. The birds and the bees. I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know the right and the wrong. I don't believe there's a right and a wrong. Like, these are pickle fries. You could argue that they're not fries, or you could argue that they are fries, right? They're pickle fries. Fries come in all shapes and sizes. Like, this conversation comes in all shapes and sizes. You can believe one thing as a parent, and some other parent can believe something totally different about teenage sexuality, okay? Not my point here. So, not my point. My point is, I want you to be able to feel comfortable as a parent to connect with your kid around sex, and talk to them and have that connection, and them feel comfortable enough to tell you about their experiences, if they're having sexual experiences or not, to have them feel comfortable asking you questions. It's about the connection. It's about the connection that I really care about. The connection. And the connection is built if your teenager feels comfortable enough to say, okay, I can go to mom and dad and they're not going to judge me, they're not going to shame me, they're not going to critique me, they're not going to be upset with me, that they're going to listen to me, they're going to understand where I'm coming from, and then they're going to give me advice, okay? They're going to give me advice after that. So the connection is really important, I believe, in all of this. And so my hope would be is that you parents can really double down on your validation, your empathizing, your ability to connect with your child, and have those tough conversations, y'all. Have those tough conversations, because our culture does not do it. It does not give us the ability, the opportunity to really feel comfortable with our sexuality. And I think it's so important. Intimacy and affection and just being able to express yourself sexually, I think it's so important as we get older. But it really develops when you're a child, right? When you're a teenager, when you're going through those initial experiences.